Hey, what's up? It's your friendly neighborhood coyote man one more time at you. Um, I just had this idea, and I gotta get to this really quick because I gotta get to bed for work tomorrow, right? Like in my previous videos, I showed you how to record, from the Rs7000 to the MC808. But being as how they're both extremely robust and all, it gave me an idea because on the MC808, it was Roland's last groove box, right? And so, of course, in order to sell it, they included all of these presets, some of which, like all those channels are filled, and these are basically songs that you can play. But instead of actually playing the songs, what concerned me more was basically how difficult it was, to edit them. And so I came up with a concept, and this is for anybody who appreciates, this type of hardware, is when stuck in the situation when you have, basically the bitch, which is the MC808, and it's slaved to the Rs7000 here, and you want that pattern. All you got to do is create a loop, and thanks to my older brother Akeen, big shout out, I connected this cable to the Tascam MM200, which he recommended me to buy, and it has a MIDI splitter in it where I can distribute the signal. So I then patched that to the RS and back, and so if I turn this down here, the RS is now volume down here, everything's keyed out there, and I press, and then I turn this up, there. See, that's great and everything, but it's so clearly looped. It's beautiful, you know what I mean? But for somebody like me, I like, things to be a bit more expressive. So how could I get that information from, the MC808 to the Rs7000? And here's how we do it, Let's press utility here, okay? MIDI setup and system, and there we see it, okay? MIDI clock out AB, MIDI control in out AB. Previously I just had it to out AB, but in this situation I want to be receiving those notes. So the way I test it is then I go back out, and if I turn this down, and this is now track 7, and that means because the MC808, it doesn't have an output control like the R7000, so its track 7 is always going to go to track 7 on the box, and that's something to remember if you have different pieces of hardware and everything. It really depends on how well the MIDI is set up. So basically now I have those notes coming in on the RS7000. So if now I turn this down here, see it's down, and then the master control here up, do you hear it? Maybe if I turn up the, so I'll switch them back. Okay, great. So we know it works. Okay? So now, quickly, because I don't want to go over the YouTube time. I've had videos that have been too long and I couldn't post them. So now what I'm going to do, right, is, I'm going to send it back to the beginning, hit record, go into overdub, okay, and hit play. Great. So I have that there now. Okay. And let's look at it. I can see now, and there it is. Ooh, yes. It's a nice little chord. I think there's some double noting happening there. So what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to do it one more time because it's good to go over it. Let's take that back down to 0. Okay, and let's press no. Let's go back into pattern. Okay, press record, overdub, record loop. Let's now turn that off. Okay, make sure we go back to 1, press play again. Counts down. It didn't go. Okay. No. Let's try it one more time. Oh, silly me. I forgot to turn on number 7 here. It was set to there. Sorry. Go. Done. Turn that back down. Let's go back. Let's play it back. Now we have full control over the velocity. We can the MIDI delay is in effect. Excellent. Okay. So now let's go and let's do some real-time remixing. Hold on. And let's just go into setup and make sure that number 7 has no MIDI out on A. Okay? So nothing's going on there. And we turn that off. Okay. Then let's go into our real-time remix. Let's go over. Let's play it back with the original here. Now we can mix the original with the remix. One last little thing, just to make sure we know what we're getting ourselves into, and we hear what we want to hear is under MIDI setup. Let's take the in and out back to A and B. And let's go to break. Ooh, yes. That is what I'm talking about. Let's go to maybe introduce some play effects. That's with the unison. Let's turn up the octave. Now let's just keep it there and go back. Now you can really hear it. Work some delay. And lastly, let's check a MIDI effect out. Okay, great. Anyhow, I'll keep this short, and you know, I hope this has helped people understand that, like, if you find like a snippet, any MIDI snippet in any hardware, especially if a company like Roland or Yamaha gave you a demo, and there's a lot of them, be sure not just to, don't think that presets are necessarily cheesy. Look at the filaments, grab an idea, and go with it, because with this, you know, I can go from a 4-bar pattern to a 32-bar pattern, and you know, you just have like these long, like you really have long passages and potentially long solos and all, and you don't have to spend, well, you'll lose yourself. It'll take time, but it's going to be like amazing, the results, because, well, you know, you're just leveraging the two machines. You know, together they make a really like strong, incredible force. I'm sure this will also work for other Roland gear along with the Yamaha. As long as you're sending in MIDI that the Yamaha can read, and that the Yamaha has a similar instrument to compare it to, you're good to go. You're good to go. Anyhow, I got to get to bed. I got to get to work tomorrow. Good night.